Hey everyone, Jim Gale here with Food Forest Abundance. I'm here with Hector and I'm so happy about the conversation we're having. Making food forests accessible for more people.
Oh my God, you know, there are so many different types of disabilities out there and people with disabilities that want to do this. The question is, how do we individualize those blueprints for those individuals so that they can have access to their food forest, they can actually pick fruit and vegetables from their food forest, again, depending on the disability, depending on the individual, and a lot of land that they have to deal with.
Oh, that is so beautiful. So what are some things that right off the bat that we can do and put into our designs to help make them more accessible?
Well, exactly what you have here as far as the accessible path, you know, we needed something in regards to the ADA no more than about 32 inches wide.
Yeah.
So just for a normal wheelchair path that would, you know, accommodate most wheelchairs and stuff like that. So in between, I know we were talking about earlier, is having some of those paths in between where the forest is at. Yeah. And then having something where we could just pick off something, like even if we had a fence or a wall, you know, something that we could just pick from that.
Yeah.
You know, even chairs have gotten so much nicer as well too. This chair goes up in height, this chair goes back and recline and stuff like that. So it all depending on the individual and on the property. But man, the fact that this could be made accessible, that's why I'm excited to finally meet you and finally work with you. And of course the Center for Independent Living. You know?
So cool. And as you're talking, I'm seeing, envisioning all these really kind of simple transitions. It's just all about design. It's about the thoughtfulness on the front end. And then it just builds right into the system.
And is it doable to do like a greenhouse and a food forest, like side by side?
Completely doable.
Yeah.
It's logical. In fact, Ian's little porch there is a greenhouse in a way.
I love that.
Right? He's got vanilla bean and he's got all of his starts growing in there. So at your place, we could design is it like a deck area?
Yes. So it's like a deck area, just like an outside deck area.
Yep.
Then there's a screened-in patio, and then I have the yard. The yard is not much in you know, as far as space, but man, I think once we have you and Ian look at it, I think we have some great ideas.
Oh, we'll be happy to put a design together for you. And it doesn't have to be much. In fact, in Gulf's Landing, we had 700 square feet in this one particular area. We've got about 55 different perennial, edible, and medicinal plants growing in that area.
Wow.
And it is literally, we've done nothing with it for the last like 14 months, and it's just thriving. The only thing we had to do lately is just cut a path because it was just a jungle of food. Yeah.
My goodness, that's awesome, exciting. Yeah, so the other thing that I was also thinking about on the paths, or it doesn't even have to be on the path, like I said, either on the wall or something, where we could either, you know, get to either hanging fruits. What are your thoughts on hanging plants? And I know
pots, hanging plants, it's all beautiful. It's all, we want to work with the soil as much as possible. Like every fence becomes a food fence. So we can put the trail along the fence for passion flower and jackfruit and grapes of all kinds. And then have some plants potted up so they're raised off the ground. Other bushes and trees are going to be perfect just by their nature.
I love that. You know, one of the reasons I didn't like gardening with my parents is because they were always growing food that I didn't like.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't like that. And you give us an option now to say, hey, why not just grow the food that you eat, that you enjoy? So so the grapes, the vegetables, some of the vegetables, some of the vegetables are all good for me. But man, I'm just loving it. The fact I got here in 10 minutes and this little child gives me a what?
A cherry, a Barbados cherry.
My God,
yes.
I love that, man.
Yes.
I joking with you guys, saying I could probably live out here for about a week just on these cherries.
I know.
So I love it, the fact that it's a survival thing. That food is, I don't know. I think we minimize the issues that we're having with our food today, or we don't even want to look at it. You know, we just want to go into a Publix or a food store and just think that whatever is sitting there is okay because it looks so nice and pretty.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right.
But the truth is, these fruits most likely been sitting on trucks and things for you know, a good 2 weeks before we actually get our hands on them.
That's absolutely right, which means they were picked prematurely. They're not as tasty. They're not as nutrient dense. In every way, this is the answer, and it's easier than people think. Ian, Dr. Scott, who's sitting behind the camera, this is his backyard, and we were talking the other day, how much do you actually work in your food forest? He's like, what did you say?
5 hours a week.
Yeah, but how much do you actually work in your food?
Oh, 0.
It's
trick question.
You can't wait to be out here.
Right.
And I've seen you work in a food forest. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go walk over there. You pick I'm gonna walk over. It's like complete joy.
And freedom.
That's okay.
Yeah, and
And freedom.
most of it, it's freedom, because the fact that you can come out here instead of having to walk to your neighborhood grocery store and have it right here, to me, that's the excitement at all. And I would spend a lot of time out here simply because I would be seeing growth happening right in front of my eyes. For me, it's a God thing.
It is. It's the Garden of Eden. This idea that the Garden of Eden is a utopian fantasy is completely a scam. It's the next logical step. It's how it should be everywhere, and we're going to help that happen.
Awesome, man. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to just keep making them accessible.
We're doing it. Thank you,
brother.
everybody. Woohoo.